All right, so today we're gonna get through a lot of philosophy, and we're gonna start this video off promoting the Aristotle video that I will drop on March 20th. And before that, what I want to do is represent my first 4 Kant lectures that I shot 2 years ago, okay? And the reason why I want to use the Kant video is because I want to look at it as a key, okay? A key to all other philosophies. And I'll explain why I think it's a key, okay? This lecture is well hidden in the world, and lately I've been thinking of my philosophy, like particularly this Kant 4 video that I shot 2 years ago, as some type of ancient Egyptian technology where we're able to build these pyramids, right? But yet what we think perhaps is we lost the technology somewhere. It got, covered up and is never to be found again, right? And I think this Kant 4 lectures are the best videos in philosophy. And I'm saying that because it only runs collectively, all 4, for 2 hours and 45 minutes roughly, okay? So in a relatively short amount of time, you'll get a key to other philosophies, right? And I'm going to start describing what exactly this key is. I'm going to simplify my presentation here as something that I'm going to hone into, and it was a choice of mine to focus on this area, okay? And when I focus on this area, it shows the type of person I am compared to all the other philosophers that have been writing in history, right? Or just doing their thing in this collective work of philosophy, okay? What I actually do is I focus on this idea of pure causality. And what I do with the idea of pure causality, which is unique within these 2 hours and 45 minutes, is we hold on to pure causality and we subtract everything from it for us to get the pure causality, right? And it sounds, as of now, if you haven't watched other videos, or it sounds kind of far-fetched, right? But I crafted it, and I methodically chose words to make you be able to extract things from more composite things, right? And also, leading up to this video, I offered people that I was going to bring you guys to your intellectual height, right? And I still want to say that, but what I really mean is I want to bring you further than anyone else has brought you intellectually in your life with these 4 Kant videos. And we're going to improve it, right? This video right here is going to improve those videos. And I'm going to shoot a video like this for all 4 Kant videos, okay? And I'm going to talk about what I say in those, excuse me, 4 Kant videos. I might be dry, but I'm going to say things to help you retain it better, right? To have better retention, okay? And this is your intellectual height, right? Or this is your intellectual standing after you watch it, right? And and then I throw in Aristotle, okay? So Kant is going to be like a key, right? And that is because I'm going to say that everything falls out of pure causality. And then Aristotle is going to be a lock, right? So you're going to get a really fine key and you're going to get a really tight lock. And you're going to compare those two, right? And I'm going to drop another Aristotle video after the Aristotle lecture, okay, which is an older one that I shot the night of the election, I believe, in 2020, okay? It's going to help you with your Aristotle. And you're going to see philosophy as a key and a lock, okay? But the most extraordinary thing that I believe that could help us possess is to gain more value, okay? I would say that there's an extraordinary amount of value that we have access to that we do not access, right? And this philosophy I've been gearing towards the last couple years. You'll get a lot of this value things in the Kant, right? And then you'll get more in this Aristotle. And it's gonna help us, right? All of us, anybody, to value the things in life more. As a philosopher, what you want to do is gain value. And I want to shift the attention that all the rest of the historical philosophers have been doing. I want to shift our attention from them and shift it on certain things that they didn't know how to value as much, right? And we're going to become a philosophy of value. We're going to learn to carry weight in this world. So at the beginning, the Kant videos is very lofty and it's very intellectual, and a lot of it is mental. But that is just one end of it, okay? And that's part of being the key, right? Aristotle, when I describe him as a lock, he's very grounded, okay? And we need to be grounded in the world just to deal with life, right? Just to make anything better. Or Aristotle, what I would say about the lecture is that lecture is focused around the word excellent or excellence, right? I'm not sure if I use the word excellence, but I do use the word excellent. But you can use either way, right? But it comes through by habit, okay? And this explanation of what excellence is something you can use, right? For your observance of yourself, okay? Or have you been excellent? Or you could observe someone else, are they excellent, right? And whatever you do in life, you want to be excellent for it. Otherwise, you shouldn't do it, okay? And that's kind of like far-fetched, but Kant says you should not waste your talent. And so here, I'm going to give you, between these Kant and Aristotle videos, a well-rounded series of philosophy where it's both lofty and it's grounded, okay? And I am going to put value for your intellect, into your intellect, and also ground the value in the world, okay? And I might not get to that until I finish the Nietzsche video. But you won't have the key of Immanuel Kant into the very last few minutes of the Kant 4 lecture. So you're gonna have to watch the 2 hours and 45 minutes, right? You don't have to, but you want a real solid base for you to retain the stuff that I'm telling you, right? It's very it's very unique when you see what I do with pure causality, and I make it in a way that you can hold on to it, okay, which is very unique in philosophy. And I don't think other philosophers even think to even do something like that, okay? And that's really one of the coolest things about watching this, right? What I focus on and what does it give us compared to other people, okay? Okay, so what I do at the beginning of my Kant 1 video is I talk about the a priori, and the video itself is labeled a short introduction to Kant's a priori. So the word is a priori. The a priori is a facet of life, and it's undeniable, okay? You always have this facet of life when it comes to what you choose, okay? And the way I described it in the video is I talked about my teachers coming from different Ivy League schools, and as human beings, people process information, right? It's like a ongoing process for everybody. And them sitting in the classrooms of these Ivy Leagues, they absorbed some type of information, right? And I was saying the word inscription, okay? So people get inscribed information, okay? And my campus had a lot of these teachers, I would say, that I was able to sit in and absorb some of this information, okay? And this whole idea of predisposition and inscription, right, is that it's undeniable. And I mean that in a sense that when you encounter your experience, right now you have an experience, right? You have a certain predisposition because of your previous actions, or your previous, you could say actions of, or absorbing information. There's a certain type of composition that you could use to deal with something in life, right? You have a predisposition, okay? And that's undeniable, okay? The experience of this is irrefutable. And I gotta go as far as to say that for you to have an experience, you have to have predisposed, maybe that's not the word, predisposition of things that you come up with to deal with in the present, right? Dr. Brown once said that philosophers have a twitch in their head, okay? I definitely have a twitch in my head, but my predisposition when it comes to the philosophy is I had very good teachers, right? And they're all in context in my head, right? In my mental capacity, I have a lot of inscription that's inside of my head, and sometimes I just run through it, right? And I just put it out, and that's just part of my predisposition, like the glitches and all, okay? Now, it's like a rhythm, right? I have my own rhythm. I introduced the idea, or I did talk about the idea that I got this Kant from Nietzsche's a priori, okay? And the way I got it from Nietzsche's APRI is the way I'm describing it just previously when I said about the glitch, right? Nietzsche's predisposition, he focused on the glitches of society, okay? And he recognizes perhaps something that we're missing harmoniously, right? When you look at the APRI as Nietzsche, he kind of describes it as people who can't hear music, right? And there's people dancing. And he thinks that the people dancing, or the person who can't hear music, thinks that the people that are dancing are crazy, right? And that person does not have who can't hear the music, doesn't have the tools, right? The predisposition or the inscription, right? The type of inscription of the material for them to hear the music, okay? And I'm describing the APRI as something non-physical and non-verbal, okay, in the video. I'm not trying to make fun of this person who cannot hear the music. What I'm saying is that this person could only value certain things that it knows how to value, right? And Nietzsche sees this, and he figures out a way that other people could hear the music better, right? He's kind of hedonistic in a way. And the next major point I say in the video is that I say that the APRI is possibilities, okay? And when I say possibilities, I'm saying that in a non-physical way, obviously. There's nothing physical about possibilities. I mean, if it's applied, yes, but just the idea of possibilities, it doesn't have to be applied, okay? None of these three that I described have to be applied. Possibility, inscription, predisposition. None of those have to be implied. But again, what I'm drilling into you is that this is irrefutable, these things, right? It doesn't have to be applied. The deaf person, they have that possibility to hear the music one day, but it's not being applied, right? Once you apply it, it becomes something else. Okay, so I'm gonna bring back this guy who can't hear music one more time, okay? Just to, synthesize all this stuff. But anything is possible, right? If you are a sentient being, which means that you are capable of having feelings, then anything is possible, okay? You have that part of inscribed in you, and it's irrefutable. Every sentient being has this, okay? But the caveat that comes with it is that it takes time, okay? So in the video, I say that everything is possible, but it takes time, okay? And I am drawing a distinction here, right, between possibilities that are not physical or not applied and things of sentient beings that have sensations. They must go through a process of time, okay? So when you do Kant, right, as a philosopher, he was famous for being able to extract certain ideas from each other, okay? Here, we're separating possibilities, okay? On one hand, you have the a priori possibilities, which is all the possibilities, okay? And on the other hand, we have a sentient time, which is also everything is possible. but it takes time. Okay, you got to be able to separate those two, right? And you want to say the APRI is the pure possibilities, okay? And our experience is something else. At the end of that video, I started talking about our conception of time, okay? And our limited conception of time, okay? And I say that Kant sets up his first major book with these two types of knowledges, which is one, the a priori, and two, the a posterior, okay? And the way I explain it in the video, I found another way to talk about it, is when you think of the a priori, people think a prior experience, right? And when they think of the a posterior, they think of an a posterior experience, a post experience, right? So we're saying before and after, prior and post, right? And I say that Kant reevaluates this, or he moves these things around, okay? He moves these things around for it to not be in a sequential order, okay? Saying things like, we assume things like things are going to happen in the future, that's a priori, and then it goes into the present, and then there's a past experience, right? But what Kant does is that he takes a posterior, the word post, and he puts it in the present, okay? So a posteriori is the present, and the past is with the future, okay? So that's the a priori. So the past and the future, again, is all possibilities, okay? And the present is a posterior, but it doesn't mean post, okay? With pure possibilities, we have possible positions, okay? And the forest I want to say about a priori position is that there's possible positions to occupy, okay? And the a priori is the possibility, but it's not a position, okay? And we could bring in the present, okay? We could bring in the present, and with the present, we could say that there are possible positions beyond that, okay? We're furthering the present with possibilities, okay? And that I wanted to look at as spatiality without being spatial, okay? So the a priori is spatiality, and that's what I talk about at the end of the video, okay? So what I'm saying is we have spatiality and possibilities of spatiality, and our present is a limiting factor of it, okay? Where all things are possible, but with time. Okay, so we're at the end of the lecture, okay? And what I want to say before we go is that I'm going to shoot something like this for also Kant 2, 3, and 4, okay? And I'm going to try to do it by March 20th. So you're going to have a lot of philosophy, but you're going to be at the height of your intellect, I believe, by the time we get to Kant 4. And then we're going to drop 2 Aristotle videos. One is an old one, okay? I already have the Aristotle video shot. So you're going to get 5 new videos from me, 4 summaries of the individual Kant videos, okay? Something like this, just to make it easier. You're gonna see that after you've watched this and then watch the Kant 1 video, it's gonna help you, okay? So one more thing of lecture, and I'm gonna end the video, and thanks for watching, is again, there's the a priori and the a posterior, right? The a priori, what we do is we separate the present moment from everything else, okay? And then we got the a priori. But what I want to say about the present moment is that it's just a blob, okay? The a priori has with it, for sentient beings, that they have inscription, they have predisposition, and they have possibilities, okay? And the present moment is just a blob, okay? We'll get to how these things interact on the next video, but for now, what Kant does in philosophy is that he separates things into what he calls pure, okay, pure forms, or pure ways of understanding, okay, or pure things that are pure to understand, more specifically, okay. So watch the video. It's this definitely should have helped you, and we're gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna try to drop that on the I'm gonna drop it on the 20th, but I'm gonna try to drop the next 3 videos before then, okay? So again, you have at least 4 new videos and the Aristotle video, which is 5, okay?